Greetings, I'm Bairnt and welcome to the One-Stop Co-op Shop. Today we're going to be continuing our playthrough of Folklore, the Affliction, Fall of the Spire. In our last video, we went down into the sewers for a manhunt, and now we're coming back out into the rest of this chapter. I'm super excited to get into it. Now before we do, there's something we have to do. I went ahead and checked, and all of our characters have over 100 lore. And so we need to level up through our lore tree. So I've taken all three of our characters here, and all three of them have pretty much the same thing. We can either gain +1 to any skill, or we can gain Vita. Now, two of our characters can only gain 2 max Vita, where our third one can gain 3 max Vita. And who's the third character to gain +3? It's our Druidus. So I have decided to give our Druidus +3 Vita, and the other two we have given extra pluses to any skill. So I've given Kenzo here +1 to his speech, and I have given Asp, I've given her +1 to nerve. The reason I did that is none of our characters had any bonuses to those two skills, so I think it's best to at least round out some of these characters. And the other one gained 3 Vita. I do want you to be aware that whenever you do hit a milestone in your lore and you're able to level up through your tree, you do it at the time. You don't do it in between stories like I'm doing myself, but I just thought for ease of recording, we're just going to do it every time we get to a point in the game where we go to the next video. But in the real game and the way you play it, when I hit 100 is the moment you take advantage of that. And then you're going to go ahead and check your tree and figure out what you get. And remember, it is based on which one of those subclasses you decided to get. Also over here, it says ability points. If you're ever able to gain an ability point, that means you can gain more abilities. In order to get those abilities, you have to go to the Church of the Crossroads. You don't just get those abilities. You have to go right here, Church of the Crossroads. It says you can purchase an ability for 1 ability point for each power point cost. So there's that ability here at the Church of the Crossroads you have to do. That's all I have before we start our video. Are you excited to see if our 3 adventurers can continue looking for what's going on inside this city? If so, then I need you to meet me at the co-op shop. You can see here, we're beginning chapter 3. Here is the skirmish table that might come into play. If ever we need to skirmish something, we're going to roll our die and see what we get. Right here is where it starts. It says City Search, and we start by using Town Services. If you remember, we are still in the town of Yorotrusk, so we get to perform 3 services per visit. So this is our visit to the town. The first one we're going to do is we are going to head to the physician. When we get to the physician, we can do these as many times as we want to inside of our turn visiting the physician. All 3 of us are going to go there because we're all hurt and we all have a lot of things going on. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to treat infections. So we can pay 5 coins to remove 1 infection token. If you can see here, our Druidus has 2 infection tokens, so she's going to pay 10 to get rid of those. Our Magus got hit really bad. He's got 3. We're going to pay 15 to get rid of those. Now that we've gotten rid of our infections, we're going to use stitches. We're going to restore 1 Vita for every coin spent. So all of our characters are going to go back up to max. Another thing I want to talk about is notice she now has 24 max Vita. When she gained the +3, you automatically get the +3 not only to your max, but what you have currently in your starting pool. So if she were to have 16, let's say, and I gained that +3, she would go to 19 right then and there. But she's at 24, she's at max. I'm super excited about that. But the rest of our characters are hurt, so we're going to pay for their stitches, bringing both of our characters' max Vitas up to 21, and we have another amount of gold here. Kenzo is down to 19. He had a lot going on, so he had to pay for a lot of things. Asp is sitting at 39, and Tala is sitting at 37 gold respectively. Now you're allowed to do as many different transactions within a service location, which is why I'm doing multiples inside of the physician. Now, once we don't need more bandages, we got plenty of those. We don't have to bring out the dead, and we don't have to cure any of our curses or anything. So we're going to be done being at the physician. At this point, we have to roll a die. In the town of Eurotrust, we have to roll an 8 or higher on our first visit to the town service in order to see an event. And we got a 3, so nothing is going to happen to us. We're not going to gain an event. Now, if we go someplace else, this die roll will become harder to get without getting an event. And I think we are going to go to another place. We're going to have our Magus here. He's going to go to the inn, and he's going to perform a sleep. He's going to recover all his power points and gain 3 Vita. Oh, I forgot he gains 3 Vita. I'm going to get back 3 gold because I would have stopped him from being at max with his stitches and just left him at a point where he would have had 3 left to get in order to get his maximum, because he's going to get them when he rests at the end. So he is going to go up to max power points. I believe his max power points are 5. Nope, I'm wrong. His max power points are 6. That's my fault. We'll put that to 6, and he will then gain back his 3 gold because he's also going to gain 3 Vita. The other 2 characters are going to go to the market, and we're going to barter. We're going to draw 1 item per visit and purchase it if we wish. I may sell items for half cost as well. And if we don't like the item, we could also pick up a torch or a wooden stake if we wish. We're going to draw the top card off of our event deck, or item deck, and see what we get. We have, what's this? A dolomite egg. Recover 4 power points. That's going to be awesome. We are going to buy that. We're going to give that to the Druidess. That's going to go into our backpack. Just right there, I think that's where that goes, because it doesn't actually get placed onto our characters. I don't think there's anything else. I also have to give this token to the next player. I forgot who it was who was the last person. I could probably watch my video and find out, but I'm just gonna give it straight to the Druidess because I'm a big fan of her, and she's also becoming a really good leader. So she's just gonna start with it this time. It could be wrong, it could be somebody else, because you have to pass it each time you move into a new map transition or a next part of a story, and so that has to pass. But it doesn't always, you don't get to pick, you always have to pass this around. But I forgot who it goes to, so I'm just gonna give it to her because that's awesome. We could decide to sell our silver sickle if we want for half price, so I could sell it for 5, but we're gonna keep it in case I find a nature foe. I don't know if we're gonna find a nature foe. Meanwhile, over here, Asp has come with us as well. She might sell this stiletto, or she could sell, no, she's gonna keep both those 2. She's got her bow, that's awesome, but I think I'm gonna keep all my items and weapons. I think we're good. I do have to pay 15 for that, and Asp is just going to go ahead and do that. And since Tala doesn't have any item tokens, she's going to spend 5 and gain a torch, which I can have a light source for 1 chapter in case it's dark. It looks kind of dark on this map. I haven't actually shown you the map yet for our playthrough here, but I think it might be dark again just like it was before. So I want to bring a torch with me, and I could throw this for D4 if I want to. We're going to place that right up there with our items, and she's also going to gain that dolomite egg. At this point, we have to roll our die again and see what we get. We got a 9, so that means we have to do one of our town events. Since this is my second town service, we did have to add 1 to that roll just to let you know. So instead of needing an 8 or higher, I would need a 7 or higher. We're going to draw our card and see what we get. Our town event is right here. We either have to do the thoroughfare or the back alley. This changes depending on which service you went to. 2 of ours went to the market, 1 went to the inn. So the 2 that went to the market would resolve the thoroughfare, where the person at the inn would have to do the back alley. Since she's the leader, I'm going to resolve the thoroughfare and see what it says here. Lockdown. The city militia were on high alert. They did not recognize us as we traveled through. The leader must pass a speech 5. All right. Well, she has no speech. She did not get any pluses to her speech. So let's see how we do here. We got a 7. We were able to pass our speech 5. Let's read the success. It says, you tell the militia of your exploits, and their eyes widen in recognition. For the next town location you visit, do not draw a town event. Oh, so we can go to a free one now. I was actually thinking of being done, but maybe I'll go somewhere free. Now that we've resolved our town event, I have to pass this to the next person. We're going to give it to Asp, our Viper Maiden. She's going to be our new leader. Even though we have a free reign of what town service to gain, there's really, I don't see much else I could do. For example, here I could gain a militia, but I'm going to want to, I think, save my coins. Nobody actually has 30 coins, but be aware in this game, you can trade your coins among your friends as much as you want. They're not just your coins. I give them to each of their characters based on how they do, but I could, if I wanted to, both these characters could, like, for example, give 10 coins to her, so she would have a total of, let's say, 34 coins, but I'm not going to do that. I think we're going to be done with our town phases, or town services, and we're going to move on. We'll continue our story. You emerge from the sewers. The anatomist used a syringe and other instruments which are strange and beyond your expertise. Who would know more about such things? Maybe the apothecary will have more details about the specific tools. So we're going to go to the apothecary beginning in the start zone. Once there, you talk to the shopkeeper, and she tells you of some of her stores have gone missing. she caught sight of a strange man running east toward the residential district. Maybe the thief is holed up in an abandoned building. We're going to be placing out compass tokens A through E in front of 5 houses and search them. We'll spend your act to flip over one of them and read the appropriate story moment. Of course, there is danger! Randomly place compass tokens A through E face down in the locations shown on the mini-map. There is much unrest in the city, and the townsfolk are patrolling the area, looking for signs of trouble. At the end of every non-combat round, a random character must pass a trickery 4 text, or be accosted in the night. The character failing the roll must roll on the skirmish table and skirmish with the creature with the counter at 1. Only the character participating in the skirmish will receive the rewards. Here's the map we'll be playing on. Our start zone is right here, and you'll see our compass tokens placed all throughout here. There are a couple search tokens as well I could check out. As we flip over these tokens, I will be reading through the different stories depending on what happens. Also, we have the optional goal to investigate all of the search locations, which not only are all the compasses, but those 2 search tokens as well. We have our super panned out view of the map. We'll be starting down in this area, but I do have my tokens up here, A through E. We're going to give these just a little truffle shuffle here, and we'll place them out according to our diagram. We're going to have to search all of these buildings to see what is happening. Put one there, and we have 3 more to divvy out in these specific locations. One of them is going to go here in front of this building. One of them will go way up here. Hopefully that's not the one we have to get to, or it's going to be a long march. And the last one is going to go right here. So here are the different houses we have to check out. And then we have to put out our 2 search tokens. One will be going here and one will be going there. Since we're on an adventuring map, we do have to set up our initiative track as well. So we'll draw the top card from our initiative deck here. And we have Savage Strike. So if there's 3 characters, I'm going to gain +2 to my melee damage. That'll be really good. Let's see where that falls on our track. Oh, at 1. That means you're going to be going last if you want that. I don't want that. That's great. Then we have to draw our forward tactic as well. We have Reinforced. Make an immediate free attack against the first foe moving adjacent to it in each round at -10 might. Oh, that's going to be pretty terrible. I'm going to put this right here to remind myself that I get that one. This one's going to go here, and let's see where that falls on the track. I hope it falls real low too. Oh my gosh, 10. So if hopefully nobody gets up there, we're going to be in big trouble. So not only going to go first when I move on my turn, probably being number 1, we're going to have to deal with that. We'll place our characters out on the map as well now. We have Asp as our leader. We'll roll her up first. She's at 5. We'll place her right there. Next we have, I'll put Magus out next. He's at 3 while our guys are getting closer to that one. And our last one is going to be at 6, which is right there at Druidus. Remember, we can spend 1 power point to move up or down on this, so maybe the Magus might want to spend a couple power points to get down there to gain this +2 melee damage. That's really good, especially with that glaive that he's holding at 2 hands. He's able to roll, remember, 2 6-sided dice, pick the highest number, then get the +2 damage from this card. Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome. We get to place our characters next to the apothecary. I'm going to place them right here, here, and I'm going to put our Druidus back there because she has the most stride. I did fail to mention that there is 1 more search token over here. I placed it down over there when I was pointing to all the search tokens. We'll start our game with the Druidus. She's at 6. She's not going to spend any power points to move up and down. She's just going to use her stride. She's going to begin moving, I think, up and around to try to get to this token here. I can send one of these people down over here to this one. She's going to go 1, 2, 3, and since this doesn't protrude into the next square, I believe you can go diagonal across that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to right there. We're then going to move our Magus. I think he's next. No, it's Asp. Our Asp is next. She's going to go 1, 2, and she's going to reveal this token. She has found token letter E. Let's go check that out in the story. We're to read story moment 115. As you approach the small house, you see the door opens just enough to realize someone is staring at you. And in a gritty voice bellows, "Who are you and what do you want?" Any 1 character present at the house must pass a speech 7 to read story moment 26 on page 60. Otherwise, the door slams shut. Well, she's the only one, and I don't believe Asp has any plus to her speech. I think we gave it to Kenzo. So we're just going to roll our die right there and see how it goes. We got a 2. We failed. So it says you move on, realizing what you are searching for must not be here. I spent my activation and I'm still allowed to continue moving. I've moved 1, 2. I'm going to move 3, 4 to this location here. Again, that does not protrude into the square, so I believe you can keep on going diagonal. It's Magus' turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to move over here, and I think that's going to be as far as he goes. Since we are not in an encounter, we have to perform a Trickery 4 with a random character. We'll roll up a die. I'm going to use a 6-sider to determine who we're going to do. We're going to do 1, 2 is Ass, 3, 4 is going to be our Magus, and 5 and 6 is our Druid. It's going to be 1, 2, 4 is going to be Magus. He's going to have to do a Trickery 4. We'll roll this up, and he got a 7, so he is going to be just fine. We're not going to have to deal with a skirmish encounter. At this point, we'll move to our Druidess's turn. Tala is going to move her 6 spaces. She's going to, or she gets 5. I'm sorry, she moves 5 spaces. Did I move her 1 too many last time? 1, 2, 3, 4. She should be here. That's my fault. She'll move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's going to go running up to this token up here. There's a couple tokens down in this location, but I can have our other 2 characters check them out. Speaking of our characters, we're going to move Asp 1, 2, 3, 4, and for her activation, she is going to see what this token brings. We have found token D. We'll read that in our story journal. That token points us to story moment 157. You are about to knock on the door when you hear a sob from within, and then sharp retort in response. You peek inside and see a band of outlaws glowering over a citizen. I have to pass a Trickery 6 test. And if we look at Asp, Asp has 1 Trickery here. So she's going to be able to add 1 to this die roll. Let's roll it up and see what happens. We got a 9. Yes, we were able to pass that test. It says here, success. You sneak away to alert the watchman. I received 15 coins as a reward. That's great. She's going to be up to a ton of money here. She's at 32, so adding 15 is going to bring her to 47 coins. That ends Ass' turn. It's going to be Kenzo's turn. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. He's getting closer to this token, and that is the end. We'll roll up our die to see who this is going to be affecting now. We have no encounters, so 5 is going to be our Druidess. She is going to have to pass a test, a Trickery 4 test. She got a 4, so she was able to pass that test. We'll move into her turn. But before we do, I am going to spend one of Kenzo's points. I should have done that during his turn, but I want to do it, just retro it a little bit. I want to try to get him down here, so he's going to spend 1 power point to move on that track. Our Druidess has 5 stride. She could get to either one of these tokens. Let's try the top one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember when I said it might be a long trek to get there? I think we're doing okay. I'm going to spend my activation and see what token this is. This is token B. We'll read story moment 119. As you approach the house, you see that the door is ornamented with wards and trinkets, no doubt in an effort to stave off evil. Choose your path. Do you try to enter in order to investigate more or move on? Oh man, if you choose to investigate, read story moment 171 on page 69. Well, what does it hurt to actually investigate? Let's go ahead and check it out. It says here, we have to pass an occult 8 to nullify the ward on the door. If you succeed, you discover a lone pedestal in the center of the place with a golden ring upon it to obtain the Ring of Mercury artifact. Otherwise, you become cursed. Oh no. Well, she doesn't have any to her occult, so she needs to roll an 8, 9, or 10 on this. Oh, she got a 10. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, we're going to be able to gain the Ring of Mercury. Let's check it out. Tala has gained her Ring of Mercury. Check this out. It gives +1 initiative and +1 stride. It's going to go to our ring slot right here. Actually, I think that would be better for Ass, but for right now, she's going to carry it around. I could, of course, trade this to her using one of my activations later in the game, or in between stories, I could go ahead and give it to her. Asp is next. She could go to we have a token way up there. I guess she could start walking there. I really think our Druidess is going to make it there first. And Kenzo right here is right next to one of the other ones. So she's just going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 in case Kenzo needs some help. Kenzo will move 1, 2, and check out this broken down building. If there isn't a bad guy somewhere, it's got to be there, I'll tell you. Let's read story moment C in our journal. The houses close by are in terrible condition, and this one is no exception. The doorframe leading inside is damaged, as if someone forced their way in. You investigate the interior when you hear a loud crack from above, and the roof collapses upon you. Pass a nerve 5 to regain your senses and rush outside. If successful, become lucky. Otherwise, I lose 4 Vita because it rains debris down. That's pretty awesome. He doesn't have any nerve that's going to help him, so let's roll it up. We've got a 7, so that's enough. Wow, I'm on fire today. I am going to gain the lucky status. We will place the lucky status right here on his board. I'll just place it right there. This is going to allow him to get +1 to search attempts and also +1 to trickery, so that's really good. I am going to spend that 1 power point, again I forgot to move him down on that track, so he is now sitting in the 1 spot. He will always be going last, but he does do +2 damage when he attacks, which is going to be, I think that's going to be really good. At least I hope so. Also on his card, I have marked that he is lucky, so we have that going for us as well. If we ever lose the token, though, I do have to erase it from the card as well. Well, if that wasn't the best place story marker ever, I don't know what is. This building's already falling apart anyway. We're going to roll to see who has to do our nerve test. It's going to be Asp. Asp is going to roll her, trickery test. And we got a 5, so she passed her trickery 4 test. We'll move into our Druidess's turn. Tala is probably going to get to that last token. Tala is going to use her stride 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to check out the last token, and I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark that this is probably where we needed to be in the first place. This is going to be number A. What a surprise. The guy's in A. You approach what looks to be an abandoned house. You peer through the windows and are about to leave when you notice a syringe half buried in the dirt outside. Realizing this must be the place you are searching for, you rally your group to the house and all enter together. Once inside, you notice the structure is unstable. And as you walk into a room, creaky floorboards bow under the weight of your feet. All characters must pass awareness 7 or fall through the floor and take a D4 damage. Those who pass the check gain 8 lore and find there is a hidden trapdoor in the house leading down into the darkness. Skip to Gross Revelations on page 18. All right, let's go make our checks. We'll roll our 3 dice. Our black one will be our Magus, blue is Asp, and brown or orange, I guess, will be the other character. 2 of us passed. Sadly, Magus did not. He is going to take D4 damage. We'll roll our Foresighter and see what happens to the poor man. He took 2 damage. He's going to take 2 from that attack, but the rest of them are going to gain the 8 lore. Whether you entered the trapdoor or fell to the floor, you appear on a landing before a stairwell descending downward. Motes of dust hang in the sparse beams of light passing through the loose floorboards above. You emerge into a short hall and see a door at the end, slightly ajar. Hearing the clang of glass and the scrape of metal, you cautiously approach. You spot the anatomist leaning over a gurney, scalpel in hand. If you open the door quietly enough, you might get the drop on him. Here's the map that we'll be fighting on. Our anatomist is right up here. We have some of these dice. We'll have to check out what those are. And we have some search tokens. I didn't get to any on the last map, but maybe we'll get to some here if we maybe think the battle's going way in our favor. But sadly, in Folklore, I don't think the battle's ever going in your favor. You always try to take things out as fast as you can because the dice can always come back to haunt you. Our first primary goal is a map skill check 1, trickery 8, 1 adjacent character. Otherwise, I can do a trickery 6 if the group has this blue story marker. We gained this in our last video when we went through the sewers, so we still have the blue story marker, so we're going to be going at a trickery 6. Can you open the door quickly and quietly and surprise the anatomist? If you are able to be successful, the characters can move up or down as much as 3 spaces on the initiative board. Otherwise, failure, the characters receive a -1 initiative penalty for the following encounter. That's going to be terrible. We are going to have to defeat the anatomist and any allies he may have. Well, that doesn't sound promising. Combat will not begin until immediately after the map skill check has been completed. See the Affliction encounter dialogue. After the combat, immediately story 1 closing section. We have an optional goal, which is another map skill check 2, which is a trickery 4 for 1 adjacent character. A wooden door blocks your path into the cell. Can you open it? We could go ahead, give it a shot. If we open, for successful, we remove the door. If it's not, then it is broken and we're not able to get to it. And we can investigate all search locations available during this combat is our optional goal. The Affliction encounter story box states, encounter the anatomist Affliction. As soon as the anatomist drops to 10 Vita or below, read story mode 59 on page 62. Hopefully we get him to 10 and just nail him real quick, so hopefully that doesn't cause us too much pain and agony. But something tells me when you hear the words, and allies, I'm going to guess that has something to do with this. We'll start by placing our characters all right there. And we have our anatomist. Remember this guy who didn't have any paint on him last time? Now I painted him up and oh, look at him. He has been busy at work here. He's holding up a skull. I've got a chance to get him all painted up. I think he turned out really well. I'm pretty excited about this guy. We're going to put him right here. He is working on who knows what up there. But something tells me that it has to do with him getting to 10 Vita. We next have to pass this token to our Magus, because when you switch maps, you go ahead and switch who is in charge as well. So he is now the leader. We have to roll to see where Anatomus is going to be. He's going to be at 5. Now he is an Affliction, so he is going to gain +1. He is going to go to 6. He's going to move before our Druidus because he is an Affliction. It's our Druidus turn. Tala is going to move 1, 2, 3 to be adjacent to this door, but she's not going to go through it. She's not going to be the one that tries the test. Asp is better at it, and she'll be going next, so she's just going to move up, and now she will attempt the test. We'll roll our die and see how it goes for us. We got a 3. That's going to be absolutely terrible. So that will move everyone down on the initiative track 1, because we don't apparently know how to trickily really open a door. Is that even a word? I don't think so. We'll remove the door that we apparently don't know how to get through sneakily, and we're going to turn our character here. He knows we're here, but it's still Asp's turn. Asp is going to go ahead and use her bow. She's going to use that recruit bow to try to take this guy, at least get a shot on him. It gets +5 might, and it rolls a d4 when it attacks. It has 3 charges, so we're going to reduce that down to 2 and see if we can hit him. Before we attack him, I am going to lower my power points to 2. For our Viper Maiden. She's going to use her ability here, this Assassin of Mistress of Poison. At the start of the encounter, you may spend 2 power points to gain 2 corrosion tokens, or spend 3 to gain 4 tokens. 1 token may be placed on your target when you hit with your attack. Unspent tokens are lost at the end of combat, so I'm going to gain these 4 corrosion tokens that hopefully I can place down on him as we fight him. To remind us what a corrosion token does, you lose 1 Vita for 4 rounds. That'll be on whenever he activates, he'll be losing that. Of course, I have to hit him first. So we're going to use our 10s die and our other die. He has a total defense of 50, which is out of control. Let's see how we do here. We got a 63, and she does gain +5 might from her bow, and she has some extra from her character herself. She has an extra 6, so she gets +11 to this attack, so she did hit. She's able to do d4 damage with that bow, so we'll roll up our damage die and see how it goes here. We got a total of 2, and she gets +1 to her damage, so that's a total of 3. Our foe starts with 48 health. We'll knock down 3 to bring him to 45. Let's see if I can do this here. 1, 2, 3, 45. Perfect. He's going to gain a corrosion token. I'm going to place that right above him right there. So this will tick down. He is going to be taking 1 damage for the next 4 rounds. Asp has completed her turn, so I'm going to jump back up to our Affliction because he would have gone at 6. She's at 4, so he's going to go next. He's going to target 2 different people. It's pretty awesome. He's got this special power. It says receive 2 attacks per round, which possess Razor 1 on attack rolls of 80+. His first attack targets the character with the highest Vita within his stride, and the second attacks the lowest Vita within his stride movement there. And attacks do not end his movement. He has a total stride of 4. And since we're playing on the Dusk, he's going to gain +2 to his dice rolls as well. He's going to move up to his stride, which is 4, 1, 2, 3 to right there. Then he's going to attack the person with the highest total, which is going to be Tala. Then he's going to attack the lowest total, which is going to be Asp. So that's kind of cool that he's actually attacking 2 different people. Tala will be attacked first. She has a 39 defense. Let's roll this out. 91. It's going to do his Crazed Slicer. His scalpel slices a vital area. Lose 2d4 Vita. Wow, that's a lot of damage. We'll roll our 2d4. I got 2. Plus we'll roll it again, hopefully not another big number, 3. So she's going to take 5 damage, and she's going to gain Razor 1 because the roll was 91, which was pretty ridiculous. So what Razor 1 will do is I will take 1 damage for the next 4 rounds. Very similar to our wonderful corrosion token that this guy has, which I forgot to activate. So he's going to go down to 44 hit Vita here. So he's down. Well, that's kind of helpful. I am going to take, 5 damage +1 every time I activate. She's going to go down to 19. Wow, this guy's no joke. He's going to do a ton of damage here. Let's put ourselves to 19. That's what happened to him. Let's see what happens to our brave Asp. We'll roll up our die. Now, she doesn't have 39. She has 36. You roll it up. He got a 68. That is enough to hit her as well. He's going to do his 8, which is going to be Implements of Torture. His tools of torture dig into your flesh. Lose 4 Vita, 1 power point, and become deranged 5. So she'll roll to see if she's going to be gaining this deranged. I think we've seen this before. She is going to be deranged, and she's going to lose 4 and a power point. She got blasted too. This guy's awesome. All right, I'm going to lose 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, going down to 17. And I'm going to lose a power point, bringing my power points to 1, which is okay. She really doesn't have a lot of abilities she uses, but she's also going to gain the deranged ability, which means I don't think she can use any type of abilities, don't matter what anyway. The token is right here, and it states no abilities that require power points can be used. And I should have been able to add my awareness to this roll, but that still I don't think was going to be enough to be able to help us here. Asp only has an awareness. Oh, Asp does have an awareness of 2. So she actually did pass her deranged 5. She got a total of 5 because if I add 2 to that, that's enough to pass it. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. So she only took the 4 damage and the 1 power point. Whew. All right, Kenzo, you the man. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to move right up to here, and he's going to try to attack him with that glaive. That glaive is going to be awesome. He does have a range of 2, which means I could have attacked from farther away if I wanted to, but I can't get too much farther because I only have 4 stride. We'll roll up our attack and see how it goes. I got a total of 3. Well, that's not going to hit anything, so he totally missed. That was awesome. At this point, our Affliction will be attacking next. He's going to make his 2 attacks, 1 against the most and 1 against the least. There are 2 that are tied. These 2 both have 19, him and her, so we'll roll off to see who it is. But the one who has the least is our Viper Maiden. Oh no. We have to roll to see who he hits. This is going to be our Druidus. It's going to go after Tala. That's actually not too bad. She's got the best defense. Let's see how it goes. All the defense in the world did not just save her. She got hit pretty bad. She's going to take a 6, which is Mad Doctor, gripping you tightly. He puts his amputation saw to use. Lose D4 plus 1 Vita and become weakened. Oh, I don't like weakened. She's going to take 4 more damage. She's down to 15 health. And on top of that, she is going to become weakened, which means she's going to be placing tracking tokens on the target each time she's hit with weakened, removing a tracking token each time I attack. And when I do attack, I have to roll 2 dice for my attack and take the lower result. And that's going to activate right now, but first I'm going to take my Razor 1, so she's going to go down to 14. Now she's going to make an attack against this guy with her Great Razor. Maybe she can get him with the Razor 1. Oh no, first I've got a plan. We are going to spend 2 power points to do our Call Down Lightning. That's going to bring her power points to 3, which is just fine. She's able to roll a D6 plus 2 Vita against this guy. So let's roll up our D6 and see how it goes. Come on, I want a lot of damage here. I got 2! Oh, I needed more than that, so that's going to be 4 damage against him. Not too bad. He is down to 40. And that's, I guess, the end of that one. Do I want to use my healing? No, I think we're okay. I'm just going to see if I can attack him. Now, I have to take off my token and roll twice to see if I hit. The first one's a 32, so it didn't even hit anyway. And then the second one doesn't matter. I have to take the lower one. Oh, I can't even hit. Okay, so she is done with that. That's terrible. I have just attacked with our Druidus Tala, but I forgot to make his second attack, which should be targeting S. So we're going to roll that up and see how that goes. Come on, don't hit her. Be nice. I got a 65, so that is enough to hit her, and she's also going to become weakened. Oh, that's terrible. She's going to take, was it D4 plus 1? She took 4 more damage. She's going to be down to 13 health. She needs some health badly. Then she's going to be weakened, which means she's going to have to roll 2 attacks next time she goes, which is actually going to be her turn now. I think I forgot to take 1 damage away from his toxin here, so he's down to 39. If I did do that, I apologize already, but we're going to roll up and see if we can get him with that bow. We're going to move away from him first, and then I'm going to roll my attack here since we're already here, but my plan is to move away from a couple steps and then fire our bow. Let's see how it goes. We'll fire it up. We got a 97, so oh no, I'm weakened. I have to take the lower of the 2 rolls. Hopefully this is still, oh, it's still 74, so that's enough to hit him. That's fantastic. We're going to do D4 damage. We did a total of 3 plus 1 is 4 damage, bringing him down to 35. Now I'd like to move her, and I'll show you why. We're going to take 2 steps back to right here, and I'm going to use my Eastern Stealth. If you are not adjacent to a foe, you become untargetable until the next turn. You may not move or make melee attacks. It doesn't say anything about range attacks. Spend 1 additional power point to remain invisible for an additional round. That's not going to happen. She only has 1 power point, so she's going to spend that power point, and now she can't be targeted, which is pretty good because he would be coming after her because she has such low health next turn. Our Magus is next. We're going to roll his dice. Come on, we really need a big hit here. I need to roll, what, above 50? I had an 84. That's way more than enough to hit him. That's perfect. I get to roll 2d6 because of my ability on my glaive as being 2-handed. You roll 2 dice and you take the better of the 2. So we're going to take that 6. That's going to do 6 damage. He's going to take 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On top of that, he does 1 additional damage for his character, and he's standing on the spot that allows him to take advantage of his initiative card, which is going to give him +2 melee damage. So he's going to do another 1, 2. He is down to 26 health. What a great hit by the Magus. Oh, that was absolutely perfect. At this point, our anatomist will go next. He's going to target the person with the most and the person with the least, and he cannot target Asp. So he is going to target the person with the most, which is going to be our Magus. Then he's going to target the one with the least, which is going to be our Druidess. So the first attack is coming at Magus. Let's see how it goes. He got a 17. He did not hit Magus. That's great. He's now going to attack Tala. He got a 30 on that. Now he gets to add 2, so he has 32. But that's still not enough to hit our 39. He has missed both people. That was absolutely awesome. Tala is now going to use her Call Lightning again, bringing her points down to 1. She's not going to be able to do any healing in this battle, but that's okay. I'm going straight up to try to kill this guy. We're going to roll our d6 and see how we do. We got another 6. That's perfect, especially if we read the bottom of the card. It says on a 6, he's going to lose their next turn. So I got a 6. I'm going to do a total of 8 damage to him. Oh, this guy's in big trouble now. So we'll go ahead, tick this down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's at 18 health. I have to take 1 damage because of the razor. So she's going to go to 13. And that's going to be the end of that for her. He should have taken 1 from here. I keep forgetting that as well. It's nice they have these tokens that I keep ticking down. Otherwise, I always forget no matter what. At least I get a little bit back into it. Then we're going to attack with our razor here, our straight razor. Let's see if we can hit him. We'll roll up our attack, and we got a 63, which is enough to hit our 50 defense. It's going to do d4 damage. We'll roll that up. It did 3, and it does +1, so that's 4 damage to him. So we'll tick that down again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I do +1 damage because of my character. He's at 12. He's almost at 10. I wonder what might happen at 10. It might be allies. We'll find out when we get there. Then we're going to move into Asp's turn. Asp is untargetable and she cannot make melee attacks. But that's okay. She has a ranged attack. I believe I can still make this because it's a ranged attack. I'm going to roll up my dice and see how it goes. We got a 38. That's not going to be, oh, maybe it is. A 38 plus she gets +5. So that would be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's at 43. Then she gets an extra 6. 43, 44, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, she missed it by 1. She got a total of 49. Her True Might Recluse bow does not fire off. He totally missed him. She is out of arrows, so at this point she is going to place this into her backpack and she is going to pull out the stiletto. I forgot to use the flank 1 he has on his glaive. This flank 1 allows you to do 1 extra, the damage equal to the number there, if you're attacking with an adjacent ally next to you. She also, don't forget, we have our side, a rumor that we could do if we want to, that we have here as well. So at some point, before we leave the town, we might want to take advantage of that to get some extra gold or some extra lore. Sadly, she can be targetable this turn, so she's going to move back up into combat because otherwise he will move down out of our range and we won't be able to attack him. Well, we could still move and attack him. We're going to get all up there and see how well we do against him. That's the end of Asp. We'll move into Magus's turn. Before we make our attack, there is something I've been forgetting to do. I have forgetting to give him his charge tokens. Every successful attack, he is able to gain a charge token. I think he's had 4 attacks, so he should have 4 charge tokens. And whenever you have enough charge tokens to work on doing his ability here, you have to fire it off. So before I went with my Druidess, I should have used 3 of these charge tokens to take advantage of this ability. It says all characters within Aura 1 are struck by his toxic syringe and gain an infection token, which is awesome because we just got rid of our infection tokens. I'm going to give 1 to Kenzo and 1 to Tala because at the time this would have fired out, Asp was actually moving away from him. It also says down here, he will then inject himself with the serum and recover 2d4 -1 Vitus. Let's roll this up. He's going to get 2 plus 4 is 6 -1. He's going to gain 5 back, meaning he's moving up to 17 Vita, which was doing really good. Now I'm doing just okay. He would get 1d6 minus 1 for 2 characters, but since we're playing with 3, he's going to gain the first part. That's it. He should have been getting these. I apologize, but we did able to fire off one of those. We're going to attack with Magus now. Let's see how that goes. He got a 67, which is enough to fire this off. He was able to hit with 50 defense. Let's see how much we do. We did 5 more damage. So see that 17 we had? Back to 12. So much for your syringe. Then I do an extra 1 because of who he is. I get an extra 2 because I'm standing on the space in the initiative track. And I get an extra 1 because I have an adjacent person to me. So we are down to 8, which means we now have to read that story moment. Let's see what happens. 59 states for 4 to 5 character game. Read story moment 94 on page 64. Otherwise, continue the battle. So sorry, you don't get any allies, I guess. I guess I was wrong as to what that did. After the Magus went, it would now be the Anatomist's turn, but don't forget, I was able to call down the lightning, and he has to skip his next turn, which is too bad for him. He can't attack. We'll move into the Druidess's turn. She's going to roll her 2 dice and see if she can hit with that razor she has. She was able to do 61. That is enough to hit. We'll roll our d4. We did a total of 3, 4, 5 damage. He is down to 3. Come on, all we have to do is get him one more time. It's going to be Asp's turn. Asp now has her stiletto, which is giving her +4 might on top of the +6 she already has. So she got a 27, which means she didn't hit, because no matter what you get with the amount of might you get from all her stuff, it's never going to get up to 50 with that roll. She's done. It's going to be our Magus's turn. He's going to attack with that glaive. Let's see how he does. Oh, he got a 12. He missed. Oh no, our 2 characters that we needed to hit did not hit. It's now going to be the Anatomist's turn. He's going to lose 1 from this corrosion token. I'm going to discard that. He goes down to 2. At this point, he is going to now attack 2 different characters, one with the most and one with the least. So we have 2 characters with 13. Oh, wait. I forgot, she should be down to 12. Our Druidess should be at 12 health because she has that razor. So the first person he's going to attack he is going to attack Magus. He's going to attack the Magus, and he got a 93. So now he got hit with the razor as well, and he's going to lose 2d4 Vita from the Crazed Slicer. He loses 1, 2. He only lost 2. That's awesome. So he's going to go to 16 Vita. Then he's going to attack our Druidess because she's at 12, which is going to be terrible. Oh, he got a 2. He totally missed. He did not hit her at all. That's awesome. He does get 1 charge token because he hit the Magus. Now, if he would have hit her, that would have been 3. That would have been enough to fire this off. He would have healed himself up. But so sorry, that didn't happen for you. It's time for the Druidess to hit him. Come on, hit him. He got a 73. That's going to be enough. He only has 2 health, and she can't do anything less than 2 health with this thing. She did 4. She totally killed him. So that is it. We have taken out the Anatomist. We will remove him from the game. I am sorry, Atomist. You look super cool when you're all painted up, but you also look super cool when you're dead. Before we read the story, I'm going to roll my 3 dice because we do get a chance to gain some items at the end of the combat. So again, we have our Magus, we have our Druid, and we have our Viper Maiden. Let's see if we get anything. Oh no, we needed a 10. Now he only needed a 9 because he does have his Lucky, which gives him +1 to searching. Story 1 closing. If you won the battle, the Anatomist lies on the floor of his workshop, bloodied and dying. He gasps through rasped breath. I could have controlled the world. Now my genius will die with me. You have robbed humanity of its greatest achievement. With that, he breathes his last and leaves the world of the living. You know you have made a step toward quelling the mayhem that has overtaken Kreml since the appearance of red lights above the dark spire. But what of those cutthroats in town that you encountered? Those unsavory types seem to be part of an organized group of thugs and assassins. No such group has been found in Kreml in recent history. This needs further investigation. Receive the Serum Infusion Kit artifact and 25 lore. That's awesome. Here's our Serum Infusion Kit. It says to exhaust for a chapter to gain one of the following: an extra attack, which would be fantastic, or move, cure an infection, or remove razor or a corruption token. Oh, that'd be really good. Sadly, it doesn't get rid of infection tokens, otherwise it'd be really, really good. So this is an enhancement. We'd be able to place it down on our character. I'm not sure which one of our characters are going to get this. Not to mention, since we finished this story, we might be able to pass some of this stuff around and give it to other characters to see what's best optimal for our group. Of course, we did get 25 lore and we also gained 35 lore and 25 gold for defeating this affliction. So I've added everything up, and we have Kenzo here. He's at 47 gold, but look at this, 198. So close to leveling up. Then we have this person, Asp, 49 gold and 191. Again, so close. And then check this out, 72 and 199. Oh my goodness. Tala is so close to passing to her next level. So at this point, before we moved into story 2, we might want to take on this rumor, because you'll be able to get gold and also get lore from that, which would get us to 200. And at that point, we could check out what we can get for our characters. For example, our assassin, since we took that tree, we couldn't pick the spy. We would be able to make our devastating strikes trigger on a 98 to 100. If you get that, you get extra damage and everything if you roll 100, but hers would be 98 to 100. It'd be pretty good. Also, look over here. I get an ability point. Now, of course, I can spend ability points, but not here. I'd have to spend them at the Church of the Crossroads in order to gain new abilities, which might be another good reason to take on this and then leave the town and go to the Church of the Crossroads to be able to take advantage of these ability points. We could also get from her, he's going to get this Stargazer, so his one-handed weapon attack are going to gain arcing, so I might want to change out my glaive and give that maybe to our Druidus, or maybe we could even give it to our Asp if we want. It's up to us. And we have our Earthbinder here. She's going to be gaining the regeneration rune, if I can read. The Possessor receives 1 Vita at the start of their turn each round during combat. So that'd be what we gained, but of course we missed it by less than 10 on every one of our characters. That's the end of Chapter 1, and we got all of our rewards. There you have it. That is the first story inside Folklore, the Affliction, Fall of the Spire. I am super excited the way this adventure is turning out already. I love being able to run around in the city. Also, I like the fact that that initiative board adds so much more detail to combat. It's not just everybody moves around and does stuff. No, there's a certain order. You want to try to get to those points where you can gain the advantage. And of course, you never want your enemies on to be getting their faux tactics. That'd be absolutely terrible. Our characters are already starting to gain more power. I think that's awesome. And we've even got some great items as well. When you move into your next story, you will keep everything where it is. This game persists across everything. And like I said, you don't have to really go into the next story. You could do that rumor if you want next, or you could even traverse the map outside of this town and just kind of do some off-road quests if you wish to. It's totally up to you. This is a very open world when it comes to how you play this game. Of course, once we start story 2, we might want to continue on until we get to the end, because once you start the story, it's super cool to keep on going. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell symbol so you know when the next part of the playthrough comes out. Also, please feel free to leave anything in the comments below. I would love to hear from everyone. Do you like the way our characters are moving along? Do you enjoy this story more or less than some of the other ones that have been made for Folklore the Affliction? I'd love to hear what you have to say. Again, thank you so much for watching. And if you're excited to see how our brave adventurers Tala, Asp, and Kenzo continue in the world of Folklore the Affliction, then I need you to meet me at the co-op shop.